It doesn't matter what year you are. I'm head of the associates. If I give you an assignment, you do it.
Hey everybody, this is your daily dose of all things royal. Well, hello my gorgeous good-looking friends. Today, I want to talk about Star Magazine. Now, for those that don't know, Shallon Lester used to be an editor of this magazine called Star. She is a brilliant content creator, and on her channel, there are a few videos of her talking about Meghan Markle and her narcissism and the relationship with Harry. She also calls Meghan out for being the one who actually is a source that provides information to these types of magazines, like Star. Listen to what she had to say.
And I've told you guys before, I used to be the editor of a celebrity magazine, I was the editor of Star, and people would always ask me when I worked there, like, okay, like what stories are real? And I'd be like, okay, every story is real except for the ones about the royal family. And this was prior to Meghan Markle coming on. I'm like, the palace is just a tight ship. Like, people don't blab, you know? So our stuff is like, maybe from a source. But once Meghan came on the scene, leaky ship. People were singing like a bird. Why? Because they were Meghan's spies. She was purposely putting that out there. She hired several PR firms to make sure the places like the Daily Mail, Page Six, our magazines were writing about her on a consistent basis. So when Meghan stands there and is like, I'm the victim, everybody's writing about me. It's like, well, girl, you're paying someone to make sure it happens. What are you talking about?
Yes, my friends, this current issue, just published, has Meghan on the cover, stating she's pregnant again at 41. Seriously, how pathetic is this? Let me preface and say that I don't believe this for a second, and neither should you. But let's see what the imaginary friends had to say. So the article starts and says, back in September 2019, Prince Harry made it abundantly clear that he and wife Meghan Markle had no intention of having a huge family. While talking about how many kids he wanted during a magazine interview with friend and famed Dr. Jane Goodall, Harry emphasized that they'd have 2 maximum in an effort to help save the planet. As any royal watcher knows, Harry and Meghan filled that quota after welcoming 3-year-old Archie's little sister, Lily, in June 2021. Now, multiple sources tell Star Meghan's friends are buzzing that she's pregnant with baby number 3, with one source insisting it was totally unexpected. When the test came back positive, Meghan and Harry went into a state of disbelief, says the first source. Having another kid naturally was not part of their plan. While pals say the pair are taken aback, they're thrilled. They're in love and consider it a sign from the universe, says the source. They're both great parents, and with the shock finally wearing off, they're so excited. There's only one person that would say these kind of things, and that would be the wife herself. So the next paragraph, they make it very clear that it says extra cautious. And it says, pals note, it's been smooth sailing so far for 41-year-old Meghan. She's in great spirits, says the first source, adding that some believe she may be having a bit of morning sickness. She's going about her daily routine. The former Suits star wouldn't share the happy news with friends until she passed the 3-month mark, says the source. But there were a few telltale signs. Her skin is glowing, and at parties, she was walking around with a glass of wine in her hand without actually drinking anything from it. I bet Meghan's talking about the one party that she was invited to at Ellen's. So here's some foreshadowing. As always, Meghan is prioritizing her health. This would be considered a geriatric pregnancy, so she wouldn't take any risks, says the first source. These puff pieces that Meghan's team puts out make her look crazy. She's not pregnant. This could go a few different ways. Perhaps they're putting this out to see what the temperature is, and perhaps, maybe, they will use this to say that Meghan can't go to the coronation because she's heavily pregnant. I don't see that happening because Meghan cannot stay away from being the center of attention and probably would show up with a moon bump. Or right before the coronation, we could hear stories coming out that she had another miscarriage and that she's not feeling well or doing well. I could totally see Meghan showing up with a moon bump, trying to gain sympathy points with the public so she doesn't get booed, but I don't think it's going to work. I also think that If she does show up to the coronation, she's going to pull some sort of stunt like faint. And all of a sudden now at the coronation, you've got ambulances rushing into the middle of the ceremony, stopping everything. So now the attention's on her. And don't be surprised if she brings her own doctor who she casted out of Hollywood. And she would take it a step further by bringing ketchup packets to make it look like she was bleeding in some sense. At this point, nothing would surprise me. But wait for it, friends. The article says the couple is gearing up. Meghan and 38-year-old Harry are already in top secret prep mode. The nursery at their $14.7 million Montecito, California Olive Garden house is animal themed and equipped with unlimited breadsticks. Just joking. It says that Harry's been working hard on the family's outside play area where the children spend a lot of their time. Harry's putting his DIY skills to use, says the first source. Building slides and putting up swings. Yeah, okay. So further down in the article, it says, looking ahead, Meghan will likely give birth at the Santa Barbara Cottage Hospital again, where she welcomed Lily. Notice they didn't say gave birth to Lily. It almost sounds like she went to go pick up Lily, greeted her, and took her home. Perhaps that's why no one knew that she was there, because maybe she wasn't. For all we know, Santa Barbara Cottage Hospital could have a drive-through option. Who knows? Which probably is what happened. And by the way, there's no record of a Lilibet Diana on record that was born at that hospital. So, in my opinion, there's a good chance that Meghan and Harry lied about the birth of Lily and where this child really came from. The article continues and talks about her experience at this hospital. Her experience there was amazing, says the second source. It was very private, and the staff went out of their way to make Meghan and Harry feel comfortable. No one even knew they were there until they already left. Meghan's main concern is having a peaceful, serene environment. She had scented candles and soft lighting and music the last 2 times she gave birth, says the source. Now, this next paragraph really makes me believe that Meghan's hands are all over this. And it says, with the royal family still reeling from Harry and Meghan's decision to quit their royal duties and move to the U.S., both sources say the baby news could help heal the House of Windsor. First off, whoever wrote this, they spelled Meghan's name wrong. And secondly, they really believe that the royal family needs this toxic couple in their house? No way.
We are here because privacy is a basic human right.
If anything, this was a blessing in disguise that the two left the family. Think about how destructive they would have been if they had stayed. Knowing all the little dirty manipulative tricks that Meghan has used in sharing all kinds of information. Could you imagine if they had stayed and Meghan had access to any type of security codes or passwords or even just floor plans of various spaces? There's no doubt that she would take that information and use it and weaponize it against the family. So the family is better off that they left. Sad that they're over here in the United States, but they're better off not being near the family because they are a threat to the family's physical safety. The way that they end this article makes me think that this is another strategy or plan that the Sussexes are concocting in order to get their feet back in the door with the royal family. And it says, if Kate and William were to find out that Meghan and Harry are expecting again, they would reach out to congratulate them, says the second source. Highly doubt that. Kate's always been a softie when it comes to moms and babies, and a new grandchild could be just the thing to bring Charles and Harry closer. Babies have a way of making people forgive and forget past hurts, says the source. If anything could heal the family's rift, it's this. If not, a pregnancy may be just the out Harry and Meghan need as Charles' May 6 coronation looms, along with the question of whether or not they will be invited or attend. Meghan tends to avoid flying when she's pregnant, says the second source. The feeling is if she's asked to attend, she'll stay home with the kids. Meanwhile, Harry is expected to be invited. Charles wants him there, adds the source. But he could always decline and say he needs to stay home with his family. So here's my take on this. They said the same exact thing when Meghan was allegedly pregnant with Lily. Has anything improved? No. So I don't see how a third baby is going to all of a sudden now change the relationship between the Sussexes and the rest of the family. They have 2 other children who they very well could have used to bridge that gap if that was the intention. Plus, Lily, if she exists, is still a baby. So having a third child to impact the relationship with the family does not seem all too logic. What I think is if Meghan decides to pick up another child, it would only be in competition with William and Catherine because they have 3 children. And this article does state that Meghan is looking to have another boy. So if William and Catherine have 2 boys and a girl, why shouldn't the Sussex have the same? This, my friends, is all puff, smoke, and mirrors. They are scheming and thinking of something. In a little segmented box in this article is talking about the Samantha and Meghan court case, where it says the judge recently ruled Meghan and Harry may have to testify in ugly court battle with Meghan's half-sister Samantha. It cites that in September, Meghan filed a motion in an effort to avoid having to be deposed, but a Florida judge ruled on February 8th that she and Harry may have to face questioning under oath. Now here's where I believe that Meghan's hands directly involved with this. It says, a source previously told Star Magazine, Meghan feels Samantha is obsessed with her and will stop at nothing to bring her down.
Oh my God, he's so obsessed with us!
Samantha is a thorn in Meghan's life, the source said, a lingering bad smell that just won't go away. No, that sounds more like Meghan. I would see Samantha more like a wart on Meghan's nose. And the more that she tries to burn it off or freeze it off, it just keeps coming back bigger and bigger until it finally eats away the entire face. In reality, she should have just left it alone. But now we are where we are, and hopefully this moves forward. What do you guys think? Do you think that this story is true, that Meghan put this puff piece out? Again, I'm telling you, I don't believe this story. I believe that this was part of an orchestrated PR strategy that they're trying to execute. Maybe this might be brought up in court. Maybe something will happen and she'll do the same BS that she did with the last court case. Perhaps maybe they're trying to drag their feet because they have this other court case in the UK for this security. And if they get their IPP status back, then I believe that they would be immune from having to be a part of any civil trial or case. And that's something that I think Samantha needs to watch out for in case this IPP status gets granted. Now, Meghan had filed a motion to have this case delayed by 3 months. The reason that they gave was sort of on the light side, but Samantha's side had agreed to it. And now the case has been pushed out where the trial is going to be now in January 2024. I'm wondering if Meghan and Harry know that a decision is going to be made on this security in the UK this year. Because if that's the case and they are awarded it, then they possibly could get out of any type of civil trial in January of next year. It would be worth looking into seeing if this IPP status immunity retro covers them back to any sort of court case or criminal case that is in process to any date prior to them being awarded this status. That's something for Samantha's lawyers to sort of have in the back of their heads just in case that does happen. It could derail everything. It's best to be proactive than reactive because failure to prepare is preparation for failure. And finally, I'd like to finish off with this blind item that came out this week where it says the illiterate one and her husband have spent multiple nights apart from each other in the past few weeks and it isn't work-related separation. Now, we don't know if this is about our Duchess, but these blind items have been pretty spot on in the past. What I believe is I think that this has been going on for a while and that's just my opinion. And that would also support the claims that she is not preggers, just because they haven't probably been together in a while. So what do you guys think? Well, it's a good thing that she's not a young woman, because I could totally see her also now trying to trap old man Getty by somehow anchoring him down with some sort of love child. So it's a good thing that she's old and that getting pregnant may not be so realistic if she were to try that route. Nah, Meghan would not be able to get away with that. The Gettys would have her in court so fast. I believe what this is noise and distraction from the bad publicity that they've been recently getting, not only from Samantha's court case, but also the South Park episode really demolished them. And if this was a real plan that they were going through with, they would not be announcing it via Star magazine. You know, Meghan would type this up on her letterhead from the office of the Duchess of Sussex, indicating the wonderful news, as well as People magazine would probably get a full-on spread. This is all puff piece noise, so just ignore them. What do you guys think? That's all I got for you guys today. Don't you worry, I will be back soon with more content, but until then, please be safe and I'll talk to you later. Bye!
It was such a fraud.